The cost of doing nothing. What's up? My name's Jordan, and today we're reading for Proverbs chapter 6, verse 6 through 11. And we're just going to break it down. So, Proverbs chapter 6, verse 6. Take a lesson from the ants, you lazy bones. Learn from their ways and become wise. What is that essentially saying? It's saying, look at how the ants live. Look at how simple but effective and important their routines are. They work and don't let laziness or emotions override what needs to be done. Okay, when you go outside and you see an ant doing work and it's building its home for its community, it's not going through the whole process of should I do this, should I do that. It's just this needs to happen, it's gonna get done, and that's how it's going to be. But as human beings, what we often tend to do is we let our emotions override what needs to be done. We let procrastination come along. We let our laziness override the priorities in our life. Okay, and then it says, verse 7 and 8, though they have no prince or governor or ruler to make them work, they labor hard all summer, gathering food for the winter. They labor hard all summer and gather food for the winter. So not only are they working, but they're doing it with wisdom. They're preparing for the future. They are stocking up for a season that is known to not have the harvest, because in winter, I believe you don't really have, you're not really growing food that much because it's the winter, everything's dead. So in the summer, they're stocking up, they're getting ready for the future. They're thinking about, what am I going to need in 6 months? Okay. They don't even have a prince, a governor, or a ruler, or anybody even going up to them and telling them, hey, this has to get done. Hey, this by this period of time, you have to have X, Y, and Z done. No, they just do it because it has to be done. And that's the importance of it. So we need to be more like the ants. We need to stop waiting for someone to boss us around, tell us what to do, kick us just to get us moving. We need to start working and working effectively, not procrastinating. This generation has a huge problem with procrastination because our attention spans are so short because of social media, because of our screen time. We don't know how to work effectively and do it when it needs to happen. So we need to learn to do that. Okay. The next verse says, which is verse 9 and 11. I skipped over 10 because I ran out of writing for it, but 9:11. But you lazy bones, how long will you sleep? When will you wake up? Poverty will bounce on you like a bandit. So poverty is just going to come up on you when you decide not to work. I know plenty of people that are lazy, that don't do any work, that procrastinate everything, that sleep all day, and they don't have anything to show that they've earned the rest. You know what I mean? Like, we need to, obviously God tells us that we need rest, but some of us over rest. We overdo our stay in our bedroom and we just sit there, lay there, sleep, and do nothing all day. And we make up excuses a lot of the times. Okay. And it's saying, how long will you sleep? How long? When will you actually come to the reality, come to your senses that you need to start getting things moving? Because there's a future that matters. There's a future that God has for you that matters. The things you're doing now, guys, are going to set you up for your future when you have children, when you have a family. For me personally, everyone has a different journey with this kind of thing. But I remember when I hated education, I hated school, I was failing, I didn't want to do anything in life, I had no aspirations. And, and then it clicked, and I was like, dude, everything I'm doing now is going to be, the fruits of it are going to be seen by my family, the one that I create later on with whoever I get married to. It's the importance of what we do now that affects what happens later. And a lot of us, we only think about now. We only think about now. We don't like to think about, okay, what will this mean for the future? But it's biblical to prepare for the future. It's biblical to start looking at what you need to do now to set things up to be easier for the people you love later in life. Okay, how long will you prolong your work? The more you do nothing, the more poor you'll be. Okay, and honestly, this is really talking about finances, but I can even take this and I could see that being applied to my spiritual life. So not only are we maybe not doing anything in the physical world and earning money and building a future with our education, or maybe not education, but a career in general, maybe are we not doing anything for that, but also, are you doing anything to prepare yourself for the future in a spiritual way? How are you doing things right now to build up your spiritual character, to um, fight back, spiritual warfare in your life when you have those problems. It's important to keep God at the helm of everything, but a lot of us, we don't keep God at the helm of anything. We just sit back. We think reading our Bible once every week at church is enough, or once every 2 or 3 weeks is enough, but it's not. It's not enough. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday choice, and we have to choose to pick up the Word of God and read it for ourselves and tune into it. Because a lot of the times I was tuned out. I was majorly tuned out. And sometimes I still struggle with that. Like I'm not perfect. I go days without reading my Bible sometimes. But the point is, it's still important. Whether or not I'm perfect, whether or not anyone's perfect, the point of the matter is that it's important that you read the scriptures every single day and learn more about our God, learn more about yourself, and learn more about this whole Christianity thing. Okay? We need to stop being Sunday churchgoers only. We need to start being Christians every day, not just Christians on Sunday. Okay? And another point is, this is the cost of doing nothing, is that you will not see the fruits of what you should be seeing. You will not have a fruitful life because you've done nothing. Okay? So make sure you're working. Make sure you're always working towards some career and working towards God. Okay? That pretty much wraps up the video, though. Love you guys. See ya.